Lena had always lived a quiet life. Every morning she woke early to prepare breakfast for her son, Leo, before he left for school. Her small apartment was filled with the soft sounds of daily routine, the kettle boiling, the clink of spoons, and Leo's laughter echoing in the tiny kitchen. Life was simple, and Lena had grown used to it. She worked hard to make ends meet and to give Leo a happy childhood, even if it was modest. One bright morning, Lena walked to the mailbox as usual. She sighed at the stack of letters, mostly bills and advertisements. She tossed the junk aside and began sorting through the rest. One envelope caught her eye. It was heavy, made of cream-colored paper and sealed with a golden emblem she did not recognize. She stared at it, curiosity prickling her mind. "Leo, come here for a moment," she called. Her son ran into the kitchen, wiping his hands on his shirt. "What is it, Mom?" Leo asked. "It's a letter," Lena said, turning it in her hands. "But it looks important." She carefully broke the seal and unfolded the paper. Her eyes widened as she read the first lines. "You have inherited a property located in the mountains," she read aloud, her voice trembling with disbelief. "A castle?" Leo's eyes grew huge. "A castle? You mean like in fairy tales? Real towers and maybe even a dragon?" he asked, giggling. "No dragons, I think," Lena said, smiling. "But yes, it says a castle. Someone left it to us." Leo jumped with excitement. "Mom, do you know what this means?" "We could live in a real castle. A real adventure every day," Lena read on. The letter explained that the castle had been in the family of a distant relative she had never met. The property had been unoccupied for years. She could claim it immediately, but she needed to travel across the country to take possession. For the rest of the day, Lena could hardly concentrate. She imagined a life beyond her small apartment. She saw towering stone walls, grand halls, and hidden staircases leading to secret rooms. She imagined Leo running through wide corridors, exploring towers and secret passages. For the first time in years, her mind was filled with dreams instead of worries. By evening, Lena had made a decision. She would go. She would take Leo and start a new chapter in their lives. They packed only the essentials, but Lena felt as if she were carrying hope itself in her small suitcase. The next morning, they boarded a train bound for the mountains. As the train climbed into higher lands, the air became cooler and fresher. Trees stretched toward the sky and rivers sparkled in the sunlight. Leo pressed his face against the window, barely breathing so he would not miss a single sight. Birds flew alongside the train, and wildflowers lined the tracks. It was a world Lena had only seen in pictures, and now it was real. Hours later, the train reached a small station at the edge of the mountains. A guide was waiting for them with a carriage. "Are you Ms. Lena?" he asked politely. "Yes, that's me," Lena replied. "Your property is a short ride from here. Follow me," he said. The road wound upward through forests and rocky paths. Lena held Leo's hand tightly as they climbed higher and higher. Mist hung low in the trees, and the air smelled of pine and earth. Then, through the mist, Lena saw it, a massive castle perched on the edge of a mountain. Its stone walls gleamed pale gray in the sunlight. Towers stretched toward the sky, flags fluttering in the wind. She stopped the carriage to take it all in. "Look, Mom, a real castle," Leo shouted, his voice full of wonder. Lena laughed, her heart swelling with excitement. She had never imagined that a simple letter could lead to something so incredible. When they arrived at the castle gates, the guide handed Lena a set of keys. "It has been unoccupied for years. Some repairs will be needed, but it is entirely yours," he said. Lena took the keys, feeling the weight of responsibility and opportunity in her hands. This castle was more than a property. It was a chance to create a new life for herself and Leo, full of adventure and hope. They stepped inside. The castle was quiet, almost too quiet. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, casting golden patterns on the stone floors. Dust covered the furniture and shelves, but the beauty of the place shone through. Leo ran ahead, exploring every corner he could reach. Lena followed slowly, unlocking doors and discovering rooms she had only dreamed of. The library was her favorite. Shelves stretched from floor to ceiling, filled with books of every size and color. Lena ran her fingers along the spines, imagining the stories they held. Leo discovered a spiral staircase leading to a turret. He climbed it quickly and looked out of the window, his eyes wide as he took in the view of the mountains, the forests, and the river below. "This is amazing, Mom. We can have adventures every day," Leo exclaimed. "Yes, Leo, we can," Lena said, her voice soft. She imagined the rooms filled with laughter and life, the halls echoing with their footsteps and the night spent reading stories by the fireplace. That evening, they lit a small fire in the main hall. The wind outside howled through the towers, but inside Lena felt warmth and comfort. She thought about the challenges ahead, repairs, moving in fully, adjusting to life in a castle, but she no longer felt fear. She felt hope. Leo curled up next to her, his head resting on her shoulder. "Mom, this place is magical." "I can't believe it's ours," he whispered. Lena kissed his forehead. "It is magical, Leo, and it will be our home. We will make it a place filled with happiness." They explored the castle together over the next few days. Lena found hidden rooms, old furniture, and paintings that had faded with time. Leo discovered secret passages, a small garden courtyard, and a room with a telescope pointing to the stars. Each day brought new surprises and discoveries. One afternoon, Lena found a chest in the attic. Inside were letters and old belongings of the family who had owned the castle. As she read through them, she felt a connection to the past. The letters spoke of dreams, challenges, and love. Lena realized that the castle had always been a place of hope and courage, waiting for someone to bring it back to life. Leo found a small room filled with old musical instruments. He picked up a violin and tried to play. The notes were shaky at first, but soon the sound filled the room. Lena smiled. This castle was more than stone and towers. It was a place where dreams could grow, where creativity and adventure could thrive. At night, Lena would sit by the fire, looking out at the mountains. The stars shone brightly, and the castle seemed to whisper stories of the past. She knew that life would not always be easy, but this castle gave her something she had not felt in a long time: possibility. "This is our home now, Leo," she said one night. "A place where we can dream, explore, and be happy." Leo nodded, eyes shining with excitement. "I love it, Mom. I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings." Lena hugged him tightly. She knew that their ordinary life had changed forever. The castle was more than a home. It was a promise of adventure, love, and hope. And they had only just begun to discover all the secrets it held. The mountains, the river, and the forests surrounding the castle seemed alive. Birds sang in the mornings, and the wind carried whispers of old stories. Lena felt a sense of belonging she had never known. For the first time in years, she felt that everything was possible. As she drifted to sleep that night, Lena thought of all the adventures waiting for them. The castle was not just a place. It was a new life, a new beginning. She held Leo's hand, knowing that together they could face anything. The letter that had seemed so strange and impossible had brought them here, and now Lena knew their lives would never be the same. The castle was a gift not just of stone and land, but of hope, adventure, and endless possibilities. The morning sunlight filtered through the tall windows of the castle, filling the halls with a soft golden glow. Lena woke early, feeling the quiet hum of the castle around her. Leo was already awake, peeking through a small window at the garden courtyard below. "Mom, come look," he called. Lena hurried to join him. The courtyard was overgrown with flowers and vines, but the river glinted in the distance. Birds hopped between the bushes, singing as if welcoming them to this new life. "It is beautiful, Leo," Lena said, smiling. "We will need to clean it and take care of it, but it has so much potential." Leo ran down the stone steps, eager to explore. Lena followed, carrying a small bag filled with notebooks and supplies. They planned to make lists of everything that needed attention in the castle, from repairs to cleaning, but they also wanted to discover the castle's secrets. As they moved through the halls, Lena noticed doors she had not opened yet. One of them was tucked behind a faded tapestry. Curiosity pulled her toward it. She pushed the door open and found a spiral staircase leading downward. A faint light flickered at the bottom as if welcoming them. "Do you want to see what's down there?" Lena asked Leo. "Yes," he said eagerly, gripping her hand. They descended carefully. At the bottom, they found a small chamber filled with old furniture, chests and shelves covered in dust. A warm scent of old wood and books lingered in the air. Lena noticed a chest in the corner bound with metal. She opened it slowly and discovered letters, journals, and sketches from generations past. "Mom, look at this," Leo said, holding up a folded paper. "It has drawings of the castle, but some rooms I haven't seen yet." Lena took the paper and examined it. The sketches showed hidden doors, secret passages, and even a small tower that seemed to be concealed behind a wall in the library. Her heart raced. The castle was larger and more mysterious than she had imagined. "This is incredible," Lena whispered. "We have so much to explore, Leo. This castle has stories waiting for us." Over the next few days, Lena and Leo set out to uncover these hidden places. They moved furniture, dusted off shelves, and followed the old sketches closely. In one corner of the library, Lena discovered a panel that could be pushed. With some effort, it swung open to reveal a narrow hallway leading to a turret. Leo ran ahead, laughing with excitement. "Mom, it's like a secret world." Inside the turret, they found a room filled with old maps of the mountains and valleys surrounding the castle. There were journals from past generations describing travels, experiments, and small inventions. Lena felt as if the castle itself had preserved the lives of those who had lived there before, waiting for someone to continue their story. "This castle has been waiting for us," Lena said softly. "We are part of its story now." One evening, while exploring the attic, they found a small locked chest. Lena struggled with the key for a few moments before it clicked open. Inside were old musical scores, a delicate wooden flute, and a silver locket with a tiny portrait inside. "Who do you think this is?" Leo asked, holding the locket carefully. "I don't know," Lena replied, "but it must be someone important to the family. Maybe someone who loved music or art." She smiled at Leo. "We should try to learn about everyone who lived here. It will help us understand the castle better." As the days passed, Lena began organizing the rooms for their new life. The main hall became a living space, the library a study, and Leo's favorite turret a playroom. Each day brought new discoveries, and the castle seemed to respond to their presence. The halls felt warmer, the rooms brighter, and even the garden seemed to awaken. One afternoon, while cleaning the kitchen, Lena found an old cookbook tucked away in a drawer. The pages were yellowed, but the recipes were fascinating. She decided to try one for dinner, using vegetables from the small garden outside. Leo helped by stirring the ingredients and tasting as they cooked. "This is the best dinner ever," Leo said, smiling through a mouthful. Lena laughed, feeling a sense of normalcy in the grandeur of the castle. Despite the vastness around them, this home felt personal, warm, and full of life. During one evening, a knock came at the castle gate. Lena hesitated. Visitors were rare, and she was unsure who could be at a place so remote. She and Leo went to the door and found a man in a simple uniform. "Good evening, Ms. Lena. My name is Thomas," he said politely. "I have been looking after properties in this region for many years. I heard you have inherited this castle. I came to offer my help with repairs and guidance." Lena invited him inside. Thomas was knowledgeable and kind. He spoke about the castle's structure, pointing out areas that needed attention and sharing stories he had heard from previous caretakers. Lena realized that having someone familiar with the property would be invaluable. "Thank you, Thomas," she said. "It means a lot to have someone to help us." "You are welcome," Thomas replied. "This castle is special. It has a spirit that welcomes those who care for it. I believe it will be very happy with you and your son here." Over the next few weeks, Lena, Leo, and Thomas worked together. They repaired broken windows, polished the floors, and cleaned the garden. Leo laughed as he planted flowers, imagining the garden filled with colors and life. Lena marveled at how quickly the castle seemed to come alive with their efforts. One day, while exploring a hidden passage behind the library, Lena and Leo discovered a small tower that overlooked the mountains. Inside, there were old paintings of the surrounding landscape and a telescope pointing to the sky. Leo ran to it, looking through the lens at the distant mountains and rivers. "Mom, look. You can see everything from here," he exclaimed. Lena looked as well, taking in the vastness of the world around them. She felt a sense of freedom she had never known. This castle was more than a home. It was a place that allowed dreams to grow, imagination to thrive, and hearts to feel alive. As they explored further, they discovered an old music room. The instruments were dusty, but still beautiful. Leo tried the piano, tapping the keys gently, while Lena found sheet music tucked in a corner. They spent hours playing melodies, filling the castle with sound for the first time in many years. "This castle is full of surprises," Leo said, smiling. "I can't wait to see what else we find." Lena hugged him. "Me too, Leo. Every day brings something new. This castle has stories, secrets, and adventures waiting for us, and we will discover them together." Evenings were spent by the fireplace in the main hall. Lena read old journals, learning about the people who had lived in the castle. Leo drew pictures of the hidden rooms and passages. The castle, once silent and empty, now echoed with laughter, curiosity, and life. Through the windows, the mountains changed with the weather. Mist rolled in during the mornings, turning the world silver. Sunshine painted the halls gold in the afternoons, and at night, stars twinkled above as if guiding their new journey. Lena felt that the castle was alive, sharing its history and welcoming them as part of its story. The hidden passages, secret rooms, and forgotten treasures made every day an adventure. Lena knew that there would be challenges ahead, repairs, adjustments, and unexpected problems, but for the first time in years, she felt hope, excitement, and belonging. One night, Lena and Leo stood at the turret window, looking at the valley below. "Mom, this is our castle," Leo whispered. "It feels like it has been waiting for us." "It has, Leo," Lena said, "and we will take care of it, discover its secrets, and make it our home." The castle was more than stone and towers. It was a place where past and present met, where stories waited to be told, and where a small family could find adventure, joy, and hope. Lena knew that their lives were changing in ways they could not yet imagine, and she was ready for every moment. Days passed in the castle, each one filled with discovery and excitement. Lena and Leo had settled into a comfortable rhythm. Mornings were spent exploring rooms and gardens, afternoons tidying hidden corners, and evenings sharing stories by the fireplace. Thomas continued to assist them, offering guidance and wisdom about the castle's history. One afternoon, Lena noticed something unusual while organizing the attic. A narrow crack appeared behind a stack of old paintings. It was almost invisible, and she might have missed it entirely if Leo had not pointed it out while moving a painting aside. "Mom, look, there's something behind here," Leo said, eyes wide with excitement. Lena pushed the paintings carefully, revealing a small arched door. It was made of solid oak, its edges carved with intricate patterns that had faded over time. A cool draft flowed through the crack. "Do you think it's a secret room?" Leo asked, his voice full of wonder. "It could be," Lena replied, her heart beating faster. "Let's see what's inside." They opened the door together. Inside was a narrow staircase winding downward into darkness. Lena found a lantern and lit it, casting a warm glow on the stone walls. Dust and cobwebs filled the air, but there was also a faint smell of lavender, like someone had kept the place fresh long ago. Step by step, they descended. The staircase opened into a chamber larger than Lena had expected. The walls were lined with shelves filled with jars, old books, and mysterious objects. In the center of the room stood a wooden table covered in papers and maps. Leo ran ahead, examining the shelves. "Mom, look at all this stuff." "It's like a treasure room." Lena smiled, picking up a book. Its cover was leather, worn from age, and inside were sketches of the castle, the mountains, and the forest. Notes in the margins described rooms and hidden passages, some of which they had already discovered and some that were still unknown. "This is amazing," Lena whispered. "It's like a secret history of the castle, hidden away for us to find." As they explored the chamber, Leo found a small wooden box tucked under the table. Inside were delicate objects, a silver key, a folded letter, and a tiny figurine carved from wood. "Mom, what is this key for?" Leo asked, holding it carefully. "I'm not sure yet," Lena said, examining the letter. She unfolded it and began to read aloud. "To the ones who find this chamber, the castle holds more than walls and towers. It holds memories, knowledge, and secrets that must be protected. This key opens the room where the heart of the castle waits. Use it wisely." Leo's eyes sparkled. "The heart of the castle? That sounds like a real adventure." Lena nodded, feeling a mix of excitement and curiosity. The castle had more secrets than they had imagined. It was no longer just a home. It was a place of mystery, waiting for them to uncover its deepest stories. Over the next several days, Lena and Leo followed the clues in the books and letters. They discovered hidden doors behind tapestries, secret passages beneath the floorboards, and staircases leading to forgotten towers. Every discovery brought laughter and wonder. Each room they uncovered told a story, preserving the lives and dreams of those who had lived in the castle before them. One morning, while examining the library, Lena noticed a loose stone in the fireplace. When she pushed it, a section of the wall swung open, revealing a narrow hallway that led to a small door. The silver key from the hidden chamber fit perfectly. "This must be it, Leo," Lena said. "The heart of the castle. They opened the door carefully. Inside, they found a circular room, unlike anything else in the castle. The walls were covered with paintings and tapestries depicting the mountains, the forests, and people they did not recognize. In the center of the room was a pedestal, and on it rested a small chest. Leo ran forward, but Lena held his hand gently. "Careful, Leo, let's see what's inside together." She lifted the lid of the chest. Inside were old journals, letters, and a collection of objects that had belonged to the family who built the castle. Among them was a small crystal, glowing softly in the dim light. Lena held it in her hands, feeling warmth radiate from it. "This crystal, it feels special," she said softly. Leo examined the journals and letters. "Mom, these stories are amazing. They talk about the people who lived here, their dreams, and how they cared for this castle. They wanted someone to find this room, and we did." Lena nodded, tears welling in her eyes. The castle was more than stone and wood. It was a keeper of memories, a protector of stories, and a place that waited for someone who could understand its value. She felt a deep connection, not only to the castle, but to the generations who had lived and dreamed here. That evening, Lena and Leo sat by the fireplace in the heart chamber. They read the letters together, learning about the lives of people who had once walked these halls. The stories were full of courage, hope, and love for the castle. Lena realized that this hidden chamber was not just a secret, it was the soul of the castle preserved for those who cared to find it. "This place is incredible, Mom," Leo said, his eyes wide. "It's like the castle has been waiting for us all along." "It has, Leo," Lena replied. "And now it's our turn to take care of it, to add our own stories and memories." Days turned into weeks. Lena and Leo continued their exploration, uncovering more hidden rooms and passages. Each discovery brought a sense of wonder and adventure. Thomas helped with repairs, cleaning, and organizing, but Lena and Leo were the true explorers. They felt the castle responding to their presence as if it recognized them as part of its story. One rainy afternoon, while examining the attic, Lena found an old trunk filled with costumes and props. Leo's eyes lit up. "Mom, we can pretend to be knights and queens." Lena laughed. "Yes, Leo. This castle is full of imagination. We can be anything we want here." They spent hours creating games, dressing up, and imagining stories. The castle became their stage, their playground, and their home. Lena felt a happiness she had never known. Life in the castle was not just about repairs and chores. It was about adventure, creativity, and connection. As night fell, Lena and Leo returned to the heart chamber. The crystal on the pedestal glowed softly, casting warm light on the walls. Lena held Leo's hand and looked around. The chamber was filled with history, mystery, and hope. It was a reminder that the castle was alive, not just with stone and wood, but with memories and dreams. "Mom, do you think the people who left this room wanted us to find it?" Leo asked. "Yes, Leo," Lena replied. "They wanted someone who could understand the castle, who could care for it and add new stories. And I believe we are the ones they were waiting for." The castle had become more than a home. It was a place of discovery, of learning, and of adventure. Lena knew that their lives would continue to change in ways they could not yet imagine. But she felt ready. Together, she and Leo would uncover every secret, care for every room, and fill the castle with laughter, love, and life. That night, Lena placed the crystal on a small shelf near the fireplace. Its gentle glow filled the room, a symbol of the magic and history that surrounded them. She kissed Leo on the forehead and whispered, "We are part of this castle now, Leo, and it will always be part of us." Leo smiled sleepily. "I can't wait to see what we discover tomorrow." Lena nodded, feeling the truth in his words. The castle was a treasure, a mystery, and a home. It held secrets waiting to be uncovered, stories waiting to be told, and adventures waiting to be lived, and they had only just begun to explore its wonders. As Lena drifted to sleep that night, she thought about the letter, the key, and the hidden chamber. Everything had led them here, to this moment, to this place. The castle was no longer just a property. It was a world of endless possibilities, and she and Leo were at the heart of it. The days in the castle had grown warmer with spring, and Lena and Leo had settled comfortably into their new life. The hidden chamber, the secret passages, and the heart of the castle had become their favorite places. Thomas continued to help with repairs, and the castle slowly transformed from a quiet, empty fortress into a lively home filled with laughter and discovery. One morning, Lena awoke to a low rumbling sound outside. She looked out the window and saw dark clouds rolling over the mountains. The wind howled through the trees, bending them as though the forest itself was bowing to the approaching storm. "Leo, wake up. We need to prepare," she called. Leo appeared quickly, rubbing his eyes. "What's happening, Mom?" "A storm is coming," Lena said. "We need to make sure everything inside the castle is safe." They hurried through the halls, securing windows, closing heavy doors, and moving small objects to safe places. Thomas joined them, bringing extra lanterns and ropes to secure the outdoor gates. Despite the storm, Lena felt a sense of determination. The castle had been empty for years, and she would not let nature damage it now. The storm arrived with a roar. Rain fell in sheets, and lightning flashed across the mountains, illuminating the castle walls. Thunder shook the towers, and the wind howled through every crack and crevice. Lena and Leo stayed near the fireplace in the main hall, while Thomas checked that all the doors and windows were secure. Leo clung to his mother, eyes wide. "Mom, it's so loud." "I know, Leo," Lena said softly. "But we are safe inside. This castle can withstand the storm. We just need to stay calm." Hours passed, and the storm grew stronger. Suddenly, there was a loud crash from the west wing of the castle. Lena's heart leapt into her throat. She grabbed a lantern and ran with Leo, Thomas following closely. They found that a tree from the courtyard had fallen against one of the outer walls, breaking a window and scattering glass across the floor. Lena knelt to calm Leo. "It's okay, Leo. No one is hurt." "We just need to fix this." Thomas examined the damage. "The window can be repaired, but we will need to move quickly before the rain damages the wall inside." Working together, Lena, Thomas, and Leo moved furniture and placed boards over the broken window. Leo helped by passing small tools and holding lanterns. Despite the chaos outside, they worked as a team, and slowly the damage was contained. Lena felt proud of their efforts. The castle had tested them, and they had faced the challenge together. The storm continued through the night, but inside the castle there was warmth, light, and a sense of safety. Lena held Leo close, listening to the rain pounding against the walls. She realized that the castle was more than a home. It was a protector, sheltering them while they faced the storm outside. The next morning, the storm had passed, leaving the castle surrounded by wet trees, glistening leaves, and a river swollen from the rain. Lena and Leo stepped outside to assess the damage. The courtyard was a mess, branches scattered across the ground, and the garden was flattened in places. "We have a lot of work to do," Lena said, surveying the scene. Leo nodded. "But we can fix it, Mom. We always find a way." Over the following days, they worked tirelessly. They cleared branches, replanted flowers, and repaired fences. Thomas helped with larger repairs, but Lena and Leo learned quickly. Each task brought them closer together and strengthened their bond. The castle, which had seemed intimidating and mysterious at first, now felt like a living part of their family. During one afternoon of cleanup, Lena noticed something unusual near the old fountain in the garden. A small stone tile had shifted, revealing the edge of another hidden door. Curious, she brushed away the dirt and peered inside. "Leo, look at this," she said. "Another secret. The castle has more mysteries for us." Leo's eyes lit up with excitement. "Another adventure, Mom. Let's see where it leads." They opened the door and found a narrow staircase leading down into darkness. Lena lit a lantern and led the way, with Leo following closely. At the bottom, they discovered a small chamber, filled with old tools, maps, and objects they did not recognize. Among them was a folded parchment marked with a red seal. Lena carefully opened it. The parchment contained instructions for protecting the castle in case of storms or danger. It described a hidden room deep within the foundation where valuables and important objects could be stored safely. Lena realized that the castle had been prepared for generations to face challenges, and now it was their turn to follow these instructions. "This is amazing," Lena said. "The castle has a plan for us. It's like it's guiding us." Leo ran ahead to explore the room. "Mom, it's full of secrets." "This is so cool." As they examined the chamber, Thomas entered, smiling. "I see you found the storm room," he said. "It is rarely used, but it is very important. It has kept the castle safe through many storms over the years." Lena nodded, feeling a new respect for the castle. It was more than a building. It was a protector, a teacher, and a guide. The challenges they faced only made them stronger, and brought them closer to the history of the castle and the people who had cared for it before. That evening, Lena and Leo returned to the main hall. The castle was calm now, the storm a memory. They sat by the fireplace reflecting on the events of the past days. "Mom, the storm was scary, but we did it together," Leo said. "Yes, Leo," Lena replied, "and we learned so much. The castle is full of surprises, and it has taught us how strong we are." They shared stories about the storm, laughing at small moments and marveling at how they had handled the challenges. Lena realized that living in the castle was not just about exploring rooms or uncovering secrets. It was about learning, growing, and facing life's difficulties together. Over the next week, they continued restoring the castle, now with renewed energy. Lena repaired the broken window fully, Leo helped plant flowers in the courtyard, and Thomas guided them through the repairs. Each day, the castle seemed more alive, as if it appreciated their efforts and their care. One afternoon, while examining the West Tower, Lena noticed a faint inscription carved into the stone. She traced it with her fingers and realized it was a message left by the original builders of the castle. It spoke of courage, perseverance, and love for the home that sheltered generations. "This castle has been protecting and guiding people for centuries," Lena said. "Now it's our turn to care for it and pass its lessons forward." Leo smiled. "I want to be part of that, Mom. I want to help the castle stay strong and happy." Lena hugged him tightly. "We will, Leo. Together we can do anything." The castle had tested them with the storm, revealing both its power and its secrets. It had reminded them that life was full of challenges, but also full of wonder and discovery. Lena felt a deep connection to the castle and to the generations who had come before. At night, Lena and Leo sat by the heart chamber, the crystal glowing softly in the dim light. The castle was quiet and calm, filled with memories and hope. Lena held Leo's hand and whispered, "We are ready for whatever comes next. The castle is our home and it will always protect us." Leo smiled sleepily, feeling safe and happy. "I can't wait for the next adventure, Mom." Lena nodded, knowing that life in the castle was just beginning. The storm had tested them, but it had also strengthened their courage, their bond, and their understanding of the castle's secrets. They were ready to face new challenges, explore hidden passages, and uncover even more mysteries that had waited for generations. The castle had become a place of learning, growth, and adventure. Lena knew that every day would bring something new, and she felt a deep sense of gratitude. They were not just living in a castle, they were becoming part of its story, adding their own chapter to the history that had been waiting for them. Spring had settled fully over the mountains, and the castle now shimmered in warm sunlight. Lena and Leo had grown comfortable with their routines, exploring secret passages, tending the garden, and learning more about the castle each day. Thomas had become not just a helper but a trusted friend, guiding them through repairs and sharing stories about the castle's past. One morning, Lena woke to the soft chirping of birds outside the turret window. Leo was already awake, peering out at the courtyard with a bright smile. "Mom, the garden looks amazing," he exclaimed. "The flowers are blooming everywhere and the fountain is sparkling." Lena smiled, proud of their efforts. "Yes, Leo. We've done a great job bringing this place back to life." After breakfast, Lena decided to explore the east wing of the castle, a section they had not yet fully examined. Leo ran ahead carrying a small lantern, his excitement contagious. Lena followed, her mind racing with thoughts of what they might find. The east wing had been closed for years and dust covered the floors and furniture. As they moved carefully, Lena noticed a small door behind a tall wardrobe. Curiosity pulled her forward. She pushed the wardrobe aside and opened the door. Inside was a spiral staircase winding upward into darkness. Lena felt a thrill of anticipation. "Do you think it leads to another secret room?" Leo asked, eyes wide. "It could," Lena said. "Let's find out." They climbed the stairs, the air growing cooler as they ascended. At the top, they found a circular room with a high ceiling. Sunlight streamed through a small stained glass window, painting the walls with colors of red, blue, and green. In the center of the room was a pedestal with a small leather-bound book. Leo ran forward. "Mom, look! Another treasure!" Lena opened the book carefully. Inside were writings and sketches from the earliest owners of the castle. They described the construction, the secret passages, and the hidden chambers. One passage caught her attention. It spoke of a room of reflection, a place where the castle's guardians had recorded their dreams, hopes, and wishes. Lena realized that this room was meant for those who truly cared for the castle, a place to connect with its spirit. "This is amazing, Leo," Lena whispered. "The castle is showing us more of its heart." Over the next several days, Lena and Leo prepared the room of reflection. They cleaned the space, polished the pedestal, and placed the leather-bound book in the center. Each day they added their own notes and drawings, writing about their experiences, dreams, and adventures. The castle seemed to respond, its walls echoing their laughter and filling the rooms with warmth. One afternoon, Thomas joined them in the room of reflection. "You have discovered a very special place," he said. "This room has been waiting for someone who could appreciate it. It is the heart of the castle where past, present, and future meet." Lena smiled. "We feel like we are part of its story now, Thomas. The castle has guided us, protected us, and taught us so much." Leo nodded eagerly. "And we will take care of it forever." The castle had become more than just a home. It was a teacher, a protector, and a source of endless adventure. Lena realized that their journey was not only about exploring secret rooms or repairing walls. It was about learning, growing, and becoming part of a story much larger than themselves. Days turned into weeks, and Lena noticed how much Leo had changed. He was more confident, curious, and creative. He explored the castle with ease, discovering new passages and hidden corners. Lena felt proud to see her son thriving in this magical place. One evening, Lena and Leo sat in the main hall by the fireplace, reflecting on their journey. The castle was calm, filled with the soft glow of lanterns and the warmth of the fire. Outside, the mountains glimmered in the setting sun. "Mom, I can't believe how much we have discovered," Leo said. "This castle has secrets everywhere." "Yes, Leo," Lena replied. "And we have made it our home. We have added our own story to the castle's history." Suddenly, they heard a soft knock at the door. Thomas entered holding a small, wrapped package. "I received this today," he said. "It is from the previous Caretakers Society, a group dedicated to protecting castles like this. They sent it as a gift and a welcome." Lena opened the package carefully. Inside was a set of small keys, each labeled with a different part of the castle, including hidden rooms they had yet to explore. There was also a letter, welcoming them as the new guardians of the castle and encouraging them to continue discovering its secrets and preserving its history. "This is wonderful," Lena said, feeling a deep sense of pride and responsibility. "We are truly part of something special." Leo's eyes shone. "More adventures, Mom. We have to find these rooms." Over the next days, they explored the rooms unlocked by the new keys. They discovered a small music tower, a hidden art studio, and even a rooftop terrace that offered a breathtaking view of the entire valley. Each discovery brought joy and excitement, reinforcing the sense that the castle was alive, waiting for them to uncover every secret. One afternoon, Lena found herself in the heart chamber with the crystal. She held it in her hands, thinking about how far they had come. The castle had challenged them with storms, guided them to hidden rooms, and taught them about courage, perseverance, and love. Lena realized that this castle had not only changed their lives, but had also given them a sense of purpose. She placed the crystal back on the pedestal and whispered, "Thank you for bringing us here. We will care for this home and its stories." Leo joined her, holding a small drawing he had made of the castle and their adventures. "We can add this to the room of reflection," he said proudly. "Yes, Leo," Lena said, smiling. "Every memory, every story belongs here now." The following morning, they held a small celebration in the courtyard. Flowers were in full bloom, and the fountain sparkled in the sunlight. Thomas brought a simple meal, and Lena set up a table outside. They laughed, shared stories, and marveled at how far they had come since the first day they arrived. "This castle has given us so much," Lena said. "It is not just a home, it is a place of dreams, adventure, and learning." Leo nodded. "And it will be our home forever, Mom. We will take care of it, explore it, and fill it with happiness." As the sun set, Lena and Leo stood on the rooftop terrace, looking out over the mountains. The castle walls glowed in the warm light, and the valley below sparkled with rivers and forests. Lena held Leo close, feeling the peace and joy that had filled their hearts since they arrived. "This is the beginning of a new life, Leo," Lena said softly. "The castle has changed us, and now it is time for us to live fully here, discover every secret, and enjoy every adventure." Leo smiled, eyes shining with excitement. I love it, Mom. I can't wait for all the adventures ahead. That night, Lena placed the leather-bound book from the room of reflection on a shelf in the heart chamber. She looked around, seeing the castle alive with memories, laughter, and history. It was a home, a teacher, and a place of endless possibilities. Lena knew that life in the castle would continue to surprise them, challenge them, and inspire them every day. As Lena and Leo drifted to sleep, the castle stood silently around them, strong and enduring. The walls, towers, and hidden rooms were no longer empty. They were filled with love, stories, and dreams. Lena felt a sense of belonging and purpose she had never known before. The castle had changed their lives forever, and they had become part of its story. Lena knew that together they would continue exploring, discovering, and living fully in their magical home. The mountains, the rivers, and the forests would watch over them, and the castle would shelter them, guide them, and inspire them for generations to come. And so, Lena and Leo embraced their new life, filled with adventure, discovery, and the warmth of home. The castle was no longer a distant dream. It was their reality, a place of magic, mystery, and endless possibility. Their story and the story of the castle had only just begun.